this is a river, but this is actually the trail I need to follow. All right, here we go. It looks like I'm going roughly 1.5 miles, and I don't know if you can tell how steep this is, but it's pretty steep, so I think those 1.5 miles are gonna be pretty much as close to straight up as makes no difference almost. Okay, so here I am just at the beginning of the Maple Ridge Trail, attempting my summit of Mount Mansfield. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I just reached the first set of steps, and it's got a lot of water coming over it. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's also pretty much a slick, wet rock for me to climb up. I do want to say that these boots are performing well. I am glad that I got the ones that look more like hiking boots versus the trail runners, because the extra ankle coverage is helping in these wet conditions. They're holding up well. One thing I would say is that I tried to put on my gaiters this morning, and due to the way the sole is, I'll try to show you. You really can't get your gaiters on there, because unlike a traditional hiking boot where you kind of have a heel and a space for that gaiter strap to go, there's none on this boot, and I think I would just wear up my straps pretty quickly and they'd fall off, so I didn't use them. But I'll give you an update shortly and see how we did. Whew, a little bit out of breath, but I did make it up this kind of rocky piece, and I do have to say these boots handled the traction very well. These rocks are way more amenable to getting traction on than rocks that you might find in the presidential peaks of Mount Washington, where typically you're slipping on wet rock. Here, they're pretty good even when wet. And at the bottom, below, you can't see it because it's too far away, there were little steps carved in that were helpful footholds to basically walk straight up with minimal need for a handhold. All right, talk soon. Hey y'all, just another update. Yeah, it's going really well, I have to say. My traction is fantastic, even on these trails that have a lot of water draining out on them. I think right now my main concern is the balance between sweating and staying warm. I don't want to get too sweated up, because once we hit the summit, I heard the real field temperature, or the wind chill temperature, if you will be around in the low 30s, with the ambient temperature around 40. So I'm trying not to get too sweated up, but this rain jacket is creating a lot of that. So to be continued. I'll let you all know how this turns out. See ya. All right, now I've emerged into this nice little clearing, actually. And this is probably the brightest amount of light that I've had on this hike so far, but it's a really pretty, I want to call these spruce trees, spruce forest. Maybe these are Douglas fir, probably Douglas fir. But, you know, the forest has transitioned from, you know, your birch, maple, other type of hardwood forest into here. It's mostly evergreen, Douglas firs, and a few deciduous trees, but just like few deciduous trees, and they're very skinny. Yeah, so it's just a pretty cool place to stop. See you soon. All right, now I've made it to the Maple Ridge Trail intersection here, and branch off here from the, you can see it, the Frost Trail. One thing I do want to recommend on these days when it's kind of low 50s, 40s, is definitely to bring along a pair of gloves, even though, you know, around home you may not be putting on gloves at even in low 50s or 55. On the mountains where you are going to be scrambling up rocks and grabbing handholds on rocks, I definitely recommend bringing a thin pair of gloves. You can buy the high-tech ones, or I just have these kind of work gloves. I'll let you know if these work gloves were sufficient. I am kind of worried about that slightly, but anyway, not a huge deal, but just to note for future. See ya. Okay, so I just descended this first rock face that's pretty much at the start of the Maple Ridge Trail. It is a little bit steep and can be slippery in this wet weather. So just for those who aren't as experienced, and I'm certainly not an experienced mountaineer by any stretch of the imagination, but just as you're going down terrain like this, make sure you face the stone as though you're going down a ladder. You may have an instinct to go down on your butt, kind of like with your your face of your body facing forward. Definitely traverse these stretches, climb down like you're climbing on a ladder. You'll have much better balance and traction and less likely to fall. So, yeah. Okay, just in terms of a review of the trail markings, I have to say these trail markings are quite good. In the White Mountains, the trails are usually marked with cairns. That can be hard to see, and certainly on these stretches where it's just bare rock, it is quite easy to stray off the trail. I'm finding these trail markers to be very helpful and quite good. So kudos to the organization that maintains these. Okay, just a little geological note. As I mentioned before, this stone outcropping here, this layer of rock, is very amenable to traction. And what you can see here are folded rock that's squeezed and courses come out, and you can see these very tight curves and squeezes in the rock, which has means it was buried under pressure and heat to bake out and melt out this quartz from the stone before it was metamorphosed. So I just think seeing things like this is just so cool. All right, talk soon. Okay, y'all, just another note. I'm here at the Maple Ridge Trail Junction here with a few other trails, and just make sure that you make your left-hand turn here. I don't think we want to be heading to the Rock Garden Trail or Butler Lodge, so just a note to make your left and follow the blue lines. Okay, just a note that the geology, you can probably tell, has changed from just a minute or two before, and now we're into this slicker kind of, I would say, less folded. I really don't see large crystals. I don't have my glasses on, but so this is probably a place to be more careful, especially as we're navigating up this kind of steep section here and need to stay tight along this fault or crack in the rock. And if you look to the right, it's kind of like a nasty slide you might go down that we definitely want to avoid. Yeah, so that section was actually a little bit more challenging than I expected. So just some tips for this particular spot, because I'm not a technical rock climber by any means, so kind of tiny bit out of my usual experience. So keep your weight well forward. This way, if you do slip, you're falling forward into the rock versus the other way, which you don't want to go the other way. All right. Talk soon. I'll just another update here. As I'm continuing up the Maple Ridge Trail, you can see, hopefully, that there are some additional challenging sections. What I would recommend for sure is following, again, the blue markers. They are guiding you up probably the best way to get up some of these faces for traction. Of course, if you're more experienced, you may not need these or want these, but for those of us who kind of definitely want the safe way up, I think that's a great route to follow. Okay, so for those who have read about this online, and I have, I think this is the famous step that you basically just need to kind of walk across here. It looks like it's pretty minimal in terms of the step you need to take. You know, just one long step. What I recommend though, if you are a person who might be nervous about this, is to make sure that you have just skills or a practice that you've developed to calm yourself and just focus on making that step and not looking down into that gully that probably if you fell wouldn't be too bad, but keep your eyes pointed at where you want to land, not the danger. That's my best advice. Talk to you soon. So that step is absolutely no big deal at all. It's just very much just one stride and you're over, so no big deal other than the psychological impact of it. So I have noticed this really cool plant, so just stopping here to take a few pictures. I'm not sure what it is, but when I get back to camp, I'm gonna look this up in my AMC Alpine Guide, and I'm sure it's in that book. And then I'll update you as to what this plant is.
Based on my review, I believe this is a tea-leaved willow, Salix planifolia, and it's known to be found in moist alpine areas, subalpine forests on Mount Mansfield.
Okay, just so in keeping with what I've been doing so far in this hike, here's another intersection. This is of the Wampahoofus Trail, which goes to the Butler Lodge that we had passed earlier. And here you can see this really nice new sign for the Maple Ridge Trail. Update on the sweat versus cool equation. I'm good. I'm definitely good. I am sweaty, and under here, my arms are cold. My core though is really warm. So I'm not going to put another layer on just yet. I'm going to head to the summit here, the Mount Mansfield Forehead, apparently it's called, and see how I feel then. As maybe while I have my lunch or after lunch, I might want that extra layer. So I'll give you an update. And I'm definitely glad that I brought these work gloves with me. They're doing really well on this, and I'm glad I have them in this cold and kind of wet and slick day. Talk to you soon. Okay, so I kind of have a new plan. I'm gonna put my additional layer on. Just I am getting a little chill off the wind. I'm sort of like now less worried about sweat. One other thing is I really wanted to show you this super cool berry. I don't know if you can see it, but they're a really cool, you know, it looks like a mountain blueberry, but I would say there are definitely really cool plants up here, and lichen, and I'm excited to see more of the alpine flora. Talk soon. Okay, so I put on my extra layer, which is just basically this long sleeve shirt. Before I only had on this vest and a short sleeve. But for those who are interested, I recently purchased this Big Agnes vest on REI closeout, and I really like it. So as I said before, it's keeping my core like super warm. And I also wanted to mention these pants from, I don't know if you can see them quite, but these pants from Patagonia, I'm also trying for the first time, and I really like them. They're not waterproof, but they are keeping my legs plenty warm, and they seem to be pretty windproof, so I'm not getting any chill. You know, they are wet, but I don't feel cold, and they give you plenty of freedom of movement, and they're really light, so I highly recommend those pants. Obviously, not obviously, but I don't get paid. I'm just sharing this information for those who care to know about these items. Hey, so here I am, pretty close, or getting closer to the summit. You can see the wind has picked up. I mean, wow, pretty neat for August 18th. I want to say that the people who maintain this trail have done a great job. I don't know if you can see, but the delicate alpine flora has been protected by a marking to prevent people, hopefully, from trampling down these fragile flowers. Because as you can hopefully tell, this is a pretty tough environment for anything like these beautiful small flowers. So definitely glad that this trail is being carefully managed that way. I just passed a couple hikers who kind of didn't seem like they had the best gear on, shorts, and they had a poncho on. And I could see that their hands were cold because they did not have gloves. And so definitely bring your gear, even though this sort of condition is not expected today with this rain and this really cold wind. It's kind of what you get in the mountains is changeable, so be prepared. Talk soon. I just want to give everyone a shot here. It appears that I'm at the forehead, which I would have spoken incorrectly previously. This does not appear to be the peak. The peak, the elevation right now is 3940. I believe we're going over 4,000 on this hike today. And again, a really great reminder to be considerate and careful of these flora that live here, and be considerate. It takes them so long to grow in these harsh climates, and it's just a great reminder to everyone to keep off the thin soils and just walk in the established, within the established trail markers. Hey everybody, so I've descended off of the forehead and into this really nice protected kind of like, I wouldn't exactly call it Krumholtz because these trees are actually pretty high, but like these kind of ridgeline trees. One thing that I would mention is you can see behind me these wood platforms. I did slip on them, no big deal, but just a shout out to others that be very careful on these wood planks. They are very slippery in the rain. The trail is not as slippery. Talk to you soon. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. I didn't notice this on my way up, but there's actually a way to bypass the forehead in bad weather, which, I think you could consider today like not great weather, but there's no lightning, so it's just kind of like windy, rainy, and like on the cool side, but definitely doable. However, it's good to know that there is a bypass if there is bad weather and you just kind of want to take that more protected route. Talk to you soon. Hey all, just another update here. There's a road up here. And that's my update. There is a road. The Long Trail South, I believe, goes that way. There's another path. So this looks like that's pretty easy going. Talk to you soon. Hey everybody, so just as I've been doing, here's the turn for the Long Trail northbound. You can see behind me, I've just come down this road, which was nice while we had it, just was not a long section. And now I'm gonna head up this trail behind me, which you can see has those wooden planks, which are probably a little bit slippery. But so far it's actually been a great day. I really enjoyed this. Sometimes the bad weather just makes it more of a challenge, and that kind of in turn makes it more fun. So talk to you later. Yeah, so pretty cool. I just passed the Mount Mansfield Visitor Center, which is kind of like a nature center, and I heard there's some maps in there. There was not hot coffee, otherwise I would have stopped. And just to note that the sign here points out the different directions. So I've got about 1.4 miles to the summit. It's also 108 something miles to Canada, which is interesting. So, oh, there we go. And then it also tells you the mileage back to Massachusetts. So it might be fun one day to do something like that. Probably not me, but for other people, it could be fun. All right, see you. Bye. So just past the visitor center, again, we're crisscrossing this kind of road network. So in terms of danger, obviously you can get emergency vehicles up here, no problem. And then I think what's apparent is I really didn't do a ton of research prior to coming here, but this is a lot safer, I think, from that perspective. of you know, getting help to get out versus other places I've been to. Because if you have to be borne down on like on a stretcher, like that could be like a really long and painful process, but it's obviously much better to have this road network. It also makes it kind of like less wildernessy and kind of takes a little bit of the sense of adventure out of it, but still a great hike, and I'm still really enjoying myself. Just stopping here, maybe I'll never get to the top of this mountain because I'm stopping at so many different interesting points, but you can see, just wanted to stop and point out the geology here. You can see now that this is different kind of geology than what we had before, different stones. So I'm not sure if it's a different layer of rock completely, or if this is just more intensely folded, but this looks like kind of more highly metamorphosed, I think, than the quartzite, but you know, I'd have to refresh my knowledge of geology to state that more accurately. Talk soon. All right, so now we're at the intersection of the Long Trail with the Halfway House Trail, and you can see the state park from where I originated from. This morning is 2.5 miles down. That's not the path that I'm taking this particular day. I'm going to keep going on the Long Trail and then go down on the, I believe it's called the Sunset Ridge Trail. So I'll give you another update soon. Bye. Hey everybody, here I am close to the Amherst Trail. Yeah, it's, you know, it's cold, it's foggy, not foggy, but you know, we're in the clouds, and my gloves have kind of pooped out on me here. I think they're wet, and they're keeping the worst of the cold off of me, but these gloves are now cold. So for those who just want to track what to wear, I would get better gloves than these. Going back to my shoes, these have performed really well. I've taken a couple plunges actually into like deep mud or deep water, and they've really held up well. My feet are dry and warm, and these pants from Patagonia are holding up real well too. Even though they're wet, they're still keeping me warm, and they're keeping the wind off me. Talk soon. Hey everybody, just wanted to point out this probably would be a view on a nice day on the ridge here. I've actually passed the I passed one trail. I'll update the name of it when I get back to camp. But it looks like from here there would be great views to the east and the west as we're going up this ridge line here. So talk soon. Okay, so here I am at the intersection. Looks like that goes back to the gondola, just to point that out. I think I'm narrowing in on the summit here, and I think one thing I would have done differently was, in this condition with this kind of rain, I don't know if you can see how my pants are soaked through. I think if I did it again, I would have put on my rain gear, my full rain gear with my my rain slacks, but at this point I'm not going to bother. I'm pretty close to the summit, and then Know, I'll be going down the Sunset Ridge Trail, so I'm just going to kind of like push through. Just don't think it's worth it, but you know, these pants are holding up, I think, pretty well, given that how completely soaked they are. Like, they're actually like sticking to my legs, but keeping the wind off, so I'm pretty good. Talk soon. Hey everybody, just wanted to point out that here we are at the Sunset Ridge Trail intersection, and the way behind me that I'm pointing to is the way to the summit. You know, the weather is it's pretty much constantly raining. It's probably, according to the weather that I got at the base, is about low 40s. My gear is holding up well. I've been updating on that. I think would have brought maybe better gloves, but these are still holding up. Talk soon. All right, so here I am at the peak. There's some other hikers, and I'd say I passed a lot of people who like don't have the best gear, not as happy. So stepping on the medallion shot there, and then all right, so I'm back at the here at the summit, kind of summit trail head here. So I'm going to start heading down. Just one note on descending is I tend to try to go pretty fast descending, but just what I've learned over the years is to try not to bend your knee at like much more than a 90-degree angle. Like any acute angle type bending as you're going down puts stress on your knee and your I believe it's the ACL, like that outside tendon. So just a heads up to watch out for that, and enjoy. Talk soon. So just past the intersection, I'll show you here where the Sunset Ridge Trail comes down, and what I would say is just watch out for that, because you are turning right, and don't go straight down. Hey everybody, just thought I'd give you an update on the situation and the gear. Descending the Sunset Ridge Trail. As you can see, I'm in the clouds, but the markings are excellent, so there's no worries about the trail. Gear update is my boots, the on-cloud water resistant boots. I'm not going to call them waterproof. Yeah, my feet are wet now. I don't know if my expectations should be different, but I have taken some pretty much like and it's just unavoidable. And my feet are wet and they're a bit squidgy and making kind of like sucking noises, if that makes sense. So I would say, day hikes like this, good weather hikes, these might be perfect. For like serious mountaineering and in like really foul weather, I think that might call for superior boots. Just wanted to give you an idea of this like pretty cool fun section, I think, of descending down. Believe it or not, this is a trail, Sunset Ridge Trail. I just passed really nice walkways along the rocks. Seeing some really cool little flowers. Is that a little blueberry? It's a little blueberry in the little part of that rock, that little crevice. And I'm still passing a lot of people who are really not ready for this type of weather. Shorts and not good rain gear, but most of them are young, so I don't think it matters when you're young. It's just when you're maybe in your 50s and beyond that having the right gear in this type of weather really matters. All right, just a quick update. It's gotten much warmer. We're kind of in the lee of the wind. Been descending the Sunset Ridge Trail. Came down a few, like steep faces, but the worst of them have footholds, or foot places to put your feet, so not to worry. Everyone I passed is like really happy, even the college kids who are wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. But God bless them, they're all enjoying themselves and having a great day on the mountain. So kind of came down off the ridge mostly, and back into this kind of evergreen forest, but with some birch and beech. So definitely transition zone. It's temperature is much warmer and it's much less windy, so this is going to be a really nice descent. I did slip in a few areas, but so obviously be mindful when it's rainy like this. But all in all, the traction's been like pretty good, so I would not be dissuaded from this hike in rainy conditions. I would just be extra cautious and make sure you're testing your your traction, and just put on the right gear. You don't want to get cold. It just might put you in a situation you just don't want to be in. So I think that's where I'm at. Talk soon. Just another update. So you can probably tell I'm descending down. There are these taller trees. We have a mixture of Douglas fir, seeing beech, and probably some birch in here too. And you can probably tell that the light has gotten a lot darker. So on a day like today, it's kind of like pick your poison. Do you want to be on the ridge with the rain and the wind and getting cold possibly, or kind of being down here, which is kind of a little bit more gloomy, to be honest. So pick your poison, but for this hike you obviously need to go through both zones. But I would say between the two, I definitely enjoy being on the ridge. These like dark sections are, they're okay, but never my favorite on any hike. And today with the rain, and it's just kind of making it a touch gloomy, but still fun. Bye. All right, so here I am. This is just a trail marker here telling us the Mount Mansfield summit is 1.7 miles. So I just came down that, and it looks like there's a view over here, something called Cantilever Rock. So, it's always a torn decision, like, okay, am I gonna spend time going in point 2 out, point 2 back to see some kind of view, especially on a crappy day like today? But the answer. The answer is always yes. Okay, so I think I found Cantilever Rock, in case anyone's wondering what that is. It's crazy. It looks like it's actually a piece of rock that is jammed in between just an even larger stone, just on an enormous scale. I mean, when that thing comes down, it's gonna make quite a impact below. So don't be here when that sucker comes down. And then just here's another perspective on that side. It is just enormous. I don't know if it's in focus just because of the fog, but that is a large piece of stone. So I just had lunch by the Cantilever Rock, and I didn't think I was gonna have lunch, but I figured why not take a break, and I wolfed down my sandwich. I also had a peach that I ate like really quickly, so I guess I was hungry. And I passed a few people passed me while I was sitting here on this rock, and they said how surprised they were about the weather. And excuse me, the weather forecast did change. That's why whenever you are in these mountains, especially a mountain like this one, Mount Mansfield, where you're well above the elevation of the other surrounding mountains, you're going to be hit with the extremes of the weather for this particular region. So always check the forecast when you're at the base, and then bring extra gear as needed so that you're relatively more protected. And I've just seen a lot of people without the right gear today. They're all fine, but I think it makes sense to have the right gear. Talk soon. All right, y'all, so I just kind of trail jogged down Sunset Ridge. This is where it intersects with the Laura Cowles Trail. Just testing out these shoes for, like, I wouldn't call it trail running, but trail, like a slight jog, maybe fast walk. And yeah, they do pretty well at that, I'll say. And the reason why I just started a little jog was just to warm up after lunch. I was getting that like post-lunch little situation where your blood kind of focuses on digestion versus keeping your body warm. So the jog definitely got my heart rate up and my blood pumping, and so just a quick way to get yourself warm on these days and have a bit of fun. Of course, don't do any sort of trail running if you're worried at all about knees, ankles, joints, etc. All right, y'all, so here I am back at the trailhead. Came down the Sunset Ridge. It was really nice, really short, way down. Like really fun. I think I descended pretty quickly and definitely jogged down the last parts. Just everyone's just chilling out here and just having a great day. All right, so that's kind of the conclusion of this hike overview. Just hiking down the last part of this road into this Eagle Cut Trail, which gets me back to the parking area. 0.3 miles away from here, which is right there is the sign. Yeah, I met a lot of people from Montreal and Quebec, and a couple students from UVM, and great day. All overall, really great day, really fun day.